Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Fabric Friday, where we do style analysis and style illustration to help you understand the style and to make the sewing of the style easier, especially if you're a beginner. In today's video, we are going to be considering a very elegant, simple, classy, guys, when I see some styles, I wonder what the designer ate before they went ahead to design this, this outfit, because they come out really simple and beautiful and classy, and you're asking God, when will it be my turn? When will I be able to design like this? So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the analysis and the illustration, how to cut and sew this style. You guys know that this is Fabric Friday and we do illustrations here. Before we go into the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will get notified. Now, looking at this style stole my heart. There are some styles you see and I'm like, God, like I just can't wait to sew this style. I don't know if you've had that feeling, but I've always had this feeling whenever I come across, a very simple, classy and elegant style. Let's first of all start. Let's just dive into it quickly, okay? If you guys are seeing me waving a tissue paper, see, it is so hot in Nigeria right now. It is so freaking hot. I don't know what is happening. So if you see me dabbing my face from time to time, I can't help it. I can't help it. There's heat. So let's just go into the style analysis. Now, this is a very simple and elegant style. We're going to start with the texture of the fabric. When looking at this style, this is a scuba fabric. It's a stretchy fabric. It is not those really light stretchy fabric that can't hold the style. This one has like an average, like the fabric strength of maybe 5.0. What I mean is it's not so light, it's not so thick, you understand? It's just somewhere in between and it can hold a style. And apart from scuba, any other fabric that can hold a style, rayon, Ankara, apart from silk and chiffon, can sew this style, okay? Because looking at the style, now some people go use silk and chiffon to sew this style. Come and tell me it's not looking fine the way it was looking in the picture. No, any fabric that can hold the style, that has strength to hold the style, can sew this fabric. This really flowy, fabrics can't sew the style, okay? Now, I have established this is a scuba fabric. Let's just go into the style. This is an asymmetric pencil gown. The rest things here are designed. Let's just take it like that. This is a pencil gown. The neckline is asymmetric. Okay, now you guys know that when I want to break down style or when I want to illustrate a style for you guys, I'd like to divide the style into two parts to help you better understand the style you grab. So we're going to divide this gown into two parts, which is the blouse part and the skirt part. Okay, now let's look at the blouse part. I don't know why that thing is twisting my tongue. The blouse part. That's a tongue twister. Let's look at the blouse part. Good. Now the blouse part is the upper part of this gown, and looking at it here, it's an asymmetric blouse. Okay, it is not a bustier. One thing I can tell you for free is that it's not a bustier, but it has a bust. This you guys know the different types of dart. Okay, so it doesn't have like this normal dart that sits in front. Instead, it has a breast dart, okay, because of this asymmetric neckline that it has. Now this asymmetric neckline is not just for the front, it's also for the front and the back. Okay, now the front part definitely has a breast dart. The back part, there's a high possibility that the back part has a normal dart. Okay, there's a very high possibility that the back part has a normal dart. You guys know that I can't see the back part of this gown, but I'm using my knowledge, being sewing for a long time now. I'm just using my knowledge to tell, okay, definitely has a dart at the back, to make it look beautiful, as in so that the back part won't be puffy, it will be well relaxed on the back side of the person. Now let's look at the skirt part of this gown. Okay, this is just a very simple straight pencil skirt, nothing more, nothing less, and it has a slit in front. Okay, it has a slit in front. It is, you guys see that as we've broken down this style into two parts, you can see that the sewing of this style is already as simple as bread and butter, because you know that okay, the down part is a pencil skirt, the top part is an asymmetric blouse. Now looking at the waistline, you can see some flared stuff going on here, and that's it, a flounce. Okay, if you don't know how to cut a flounce, I have a detailed tutorial here on this channel on how to go about cutting a flounce. Okay, so this is a flounce. It is very easy to cut, and so just check the link in the description box of this video on how to cut a flounce. Now let's look at I know that on the blouse part you can see something like, it looks like a flared, more like it came from the outline of the armhole and went, you know, around the shoulder, kind of giving it a bow tie effect. Okay, it's giving it more like a bow tie effect on this blouse. And the simple way to do that is just to get your fabric, trace the outline of your armhole, try to make it, you know, you are just trying to mimic a bow tie, so any way you can do it, just make sure you trace the outline of your armhole so that you can easily sew it into your armhole, and, you know, tuck it in around the shoulder part, and, you know, just do a little bow tie effect there. There's no one way to sew it or one formula to form a bow tie. Just make sure, you know, looking at it here, you can see that it came from the armhole. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick illustration on how to go about cutting the neckline and how to go about cutting the skirt part of this gown. So to start up the blouse, we've already drafted a normal round neckline, you know, the armhole curve, my shoulder slant. This is what we have here. Then to insert the asymmetric neckline from one part of the blouse, you're just going to give this slanted groove, okay, to below the armhole curve of the bodies. That's to either the left hand side or the right hand side. The shaded part is where I am going to cut out. Okay, so after cutting out the shaded part, I'm just going to go ahead to cut out like the normal neckline curve, my shoulder slant, and my armhole curve. So this is just the easy way to draft the pattern for the front part. Then, like I said, the front part of this gown has a breast dart, so I just inserted like a little breast dart inscription there so you guys will know what I'm talking about. So for the back, we're just going to basically trace the outline of the front part on the back part. The back has a normal dart, okay, like I mentioned in my discussion. So you're just going to place the front part, that's the pattern of the front part, place it on the back part, then you just trace the asymmetric outline. After doing that, this is what we have here. The shaded part is where I'm going to cut off. Just do this when you're doing this. When you want to sew this style, you're going to work with a pattern, not your fabric. Okay, so this is what the back looks like. You can see the back and the front already look the same. Okay, so when you put them together, you can see we have the beautiful asymmetric blouse part of the gown. Then this is the skirt, that is the zip allowance. The back part of this skirt has a dart, so I just went ahead to mark the waist, the hips, normal basic things that will mark. The front part of this skirt does not have a dart, okay, but we want to determine where the slant, you know, that slit in front, where it will be. So what you want to do, you want to mark like 2/3 of the one side of the skirt. So you're just going to mark that point where your normal dart starts from. Okay, then you move like 2 inches away from that point. That is where your slit will be. So what you did on top of the skirt, you do it below, then you just mark your slit point, and that is where your slit will be. I just hope I've not confused you with my explanation, but you guys can see what I'm trying to do here. Okay, like I said, you move 2 inches away from where your normal dart point will be, then that measurement you replicate it beneath, then you put in your slit. Okay, so that's how you get the slit part for this skirt. Okay, so it's time to get that bow tie, ruffle, that folded stuff that was around the armhole curve of this gown, and I just cut a flared here. You can see I'm marking out a flared. I'm just trying to illustrate to you guys with this paper. You can do yours with a straight fabric depending on how curvy you want yours to come out. Do you understand? So me, I drew a flared and I just traced the outline of the armhole on the flared.
So I traced the outline of the armhole on the flared. I also traced the shoulder slant outline as well. Then I went ahead to shape it, you know, the way I wanted it to come out. You see, when it comes to this part, just freestyle it. There's no one way, like I said, there's no one way to do it. Just freestyle it and make sure it comes out really, really nice. Okay, then after that, you attach it to the armhole curve of the bodice, that's the front part, and you just fold it in, secure a pin, make sure you join it on the shoulder slant and, you know, on the armhole part. Okay, this is what it looks like here. Then we're going to insert the flounce. Thing we did for like the skirt part, the flounce is going to be like 2/3 of that part where your dart is supposed to be, like 2 inches away from your normal dart point.
So to sew this style, the first thing you're going to do is to insert your breast dart to the front part of this blouse, okay, and sew your normal dart at the back part of the blouse. Okay, then when you are done sewing this, you join the front part of the blouse to the back part of the blouse, you join the shoulder slant, you join the sides. Okay, of course you'd have cut your flounce, so you go ahead to attach your flounce around, you know, normally where you insert your dart. Okay, where you normally insert your normal straight dart in your blouse, you go ahead to that point towards the right hand side or left, wherever you want the flounce to be, you attach the flounce there. Okay, so we now have the blouse with the flounce. Then for the skirt, you go ahead, you know, to join the sides of the skirt. Make sure you neatly turn over the slit that's in front of the skirt. Then you attach the skirt part of the gown to the blouse part of the gown. Then the next thing you're going to quickly go ahead to do is to turn over the armhole, that's the front part, that's to turn over the left armhole or the right armhole, wherever you want that bow tie effect to be. You just turn it over with the outline that you know traced out for the armhole, and give it that bow tie look or flared look or ruffle look, however you want it to look. You know, if you want to mimic the style here, or you want to give another effect on the sleeve, you can do whatever you want. You turn it over, make sure your neckline is neatly turned over. You go to the back, you attach your zip, give it a really good press the sides, press the armhole, press that seam where you know attach the top part of the blouse to the down part of the blouse, you know. And guys, this is the easiest way, the simplest way, and the fastest way to go about cutting and sewing this style. Trust me guys, if you've cut this style already, it will take you, let me say, 3 hours or maybe 4 hours to make the gown. Is that simple? Is that easy? Let me know in the comment section. If you are going to make this gown, definitely tag me on social media at Stitchadress, that's Instagram or Facebook at Stitchadress, if you eventually make this style. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will get notified. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.